What's up, guys? How's it going? My name is Richard Aird, and in this project, I'll be talking about the use of technology in class and getting to know the students through a survey. This is for Module 3, Unit 1, Assignment 1 of Teach Now, Students in the Digital Age. I will be presenting results for teachers and students, so without further ado, let's get right into it. First, I interviewed 4 teachers about their use of technology in the classroom. I wanted to design a comprehensive, incisive, and specific survey. I also wanted to generate critical insights into the teachers' perspectives on the use of technology in class and at home. I knew I had to interview a wide range of teachers who teach different level students, different age groups, and are located internationally. Lastly, I knew I had to find out how teachers integrate technology into their classes, so I presented a series of 7 questions that were specifically designed to show insight into how the teachers use technology in their classrooms. My cohort, specifically Maura and Merlin, helped me a lot with these questions in the discussion forum. Here are the 4 teachers interviewed. Shannon is a U of A grad who teaches middle school and high school in Canada. Huang is an international school elementary teacher. Matthew is a debate teacher living in South Korea, and Trong is a Vietnamese master's student who lectures at a university in Saigon, Vietnam. Discussing with my cohort and comparing the results of my findings, I found that teachers agree that the use of technology is a need in the classroom. This year, the world experienced coronavirus, which made technology a must-have in the classroom. Most classes were changed to distance learning, and the days of sending a packet by mail were long gone. All teachers offered insight into how they use technology, whether it be software or hardware, in the classroom to enhance their teaching methods. All of the teachers agree that using technology helps the students understand more, keeps them focused, and allows for better use of class time. It also takes a lot of the workload off of the teacher and allows the teacher to focus on more innovation and turning the classroom into one that is truly student-centered. Instead of the teacher using an hour to cut out and laminate pages for the students to play a matching game with, the teacher can use a tablet to allow the students to play a matching game on. The extra time saved here can be used to enhance the classroom or prepare for the next activity. All of the teachers recommended email and Microsoft Office to communicate with the students, administration, and parents, but some of them also introduced new technologies such as Twinkle and Sparkle for printing out extra worksheets, and Remind for keeping track of important events. These new technologies are amazing. I tried all of them, and something that's great is there's a lot of teacher-parent-student integration. And what I mean by that is there's a teacher side to these applications to assign work, a student side to do the work, and a parent side that allows parents to monitor the progress. This makes it simple and easy to manage assignments, projects, and even attendance. It allows for great and instant communication between the 3 parties. But technology is not perfect. It also brings problems. All of the teachers complained about how bad connections could be in class. Shannon also mentioned that some students may not have experience using technology required of them in school. So many students may have used a touchscreen tablet before, but not a computer with a mouse and keyboard. This leads to the student missing the activity or wasting time learning how to use technology. Almost all of the teachers complained that classroom management, the teacher's individuality and personality, and face-to-face communications cannot be solved through technology. Huang said that inspiring students cannot be done through technology, and this is something I didn't think of before, but it's very true. So in conclusion, technology is a tool used to enhance the classroom, but not replace it entirely. It helps teachers communicate better with students, parents, and admin, allows for better use of class time, helps keep students engaged, and takes some of the workload off of the teacher. But it cannot replace certain aspects of teaching that are crucial, such as face-to-face communication, the teacher's personality, and inspiring students. Now, for the student survey. The goal of the Getting to Know You survey was to create an age-appropriate questionnaire that helps gauge information about the students easily. It was fun to make, and I wanted it to help me identify their preferred learning styles, cultural background, interests, needs, personalities, and personal issues that they might be having and dealing with. This was so I could provide an effective and engaging student-centered learning environment. I'm making a big leap here from teaching elementary to teaching high school math, so every little piece of information helps. I wanted to make the survey unique and allow for students to include any additional information to help me know them better. I want to understand the cultural differences, along with any other factors that can be used to tailor my lesson around these students. The questionnaire was aimed at high school students from around the world. I wanted to know more about my students, understand the diversity in the classroom, and learn how I can enhance the classroom. In statistics, we can only make inferences about a group of people if the results are statistically significant. Therefore, it was crucial that I find a large sample size to survey about their experience in school. I sourced students from an international background, and I was able to collect over 40 survey results. Even now, I'm still getting notifications that more students are taking the survey. Here are the 10 questions asked. I had to combine some since SurveyMonkey doesn't allow more than 10 questions on a survey with their free mode. The survey showed me that even though these students are from the same or similar country, they are extremely diverse. The first questions I asked were their name, likes, and dislikes. I wanted the first question to be easy and fun so they could get engaged in the survey. The students had a wide range of hobbies such as tennis, volunteering, skating, and baking. They liked a wide range of subjects, but the most common were math, science, and computing science. Really, math? What's the secret? I was surprised that there were so many students that said they liked computing science, and since computing science is based off of math, with things like logic, algebra, statistics, and calculus, I would be sure to relate math that the students are learning to computing science, which is entirely technology-based. Students dislike the typical things, rude people, too much homework, things like that, but many students complained that the school does not allow them to find their passion. Furthermore, many claimed that they would try to use their cell phones between classes to catch up on schoolwork. I thought this was amazingly clever because some of them talked about how they would share notes and helpful tips in Snapchat. But many teachers or the school would not allow cell phone use between classes. This creates a disconnect where students try to learn but are prevented or inhibited due to the school administration. A solution that I have helped implement in my current school is to allow the students to connect to Wi-Fi, but have the Wi-Fi as a limited network. So students cannot use it for YouTube, but they can use it for preloaded educational games and videos. The next question was short versus long-term goals. The students had some amazing goals focused around school and their personal life. Most were based around getting into a good university or college or learning coding. Some students also talked about managing student debt or living environmentally conscious lives. Most importantly, most students wanted to pursue something that made people's lives better. As much as the students are motivated to get high marks, I should also be invested in their learning and forward progression as a teacher. Using applications to track their progress and even using AI to help suggest better activities and areas of improvement could greatly help in the classroom and allow students to succeed and reach their full potential. The students I surveyed were extremely diverse. This truly shows how Western countries are very multicultural. Most students spoke French or Spanish besides English because those are the second languages taught in Canada and USA, but many also spoke European languages, Indian languages, and even some Asian languages. Language shapes the way we think about things in our daily lives, and with new language comes new ways of solving issues and problems. Fresh perspectives and introducing new ways to approach problems are some of the most important keys that students can use to solve problems in the classroom. It helps them also solve problems in the future in their daily lives or at work. But unlike the languages, the holidays were very standard. Many celebrated Christmas, the Independence Days of their respective countries, and the standard Western holidays. One student celebrated Kwanzaa, and a few celebrated Lunar New Year with their family. I will be sure to allow students their appropriate space to practice their holiday time in the future. Students who celebrate Ramadan may be tired or unable to eat food during the fasting period, so we won't be doing chemistry such as baking during May or June if the students are fasting. Students who celebrate Lunar New Year may need a week or so off during January or February. It is important as teachers to assist students in having the appropriate time to celebrate with their family. Applications like Remind or Google Calendars allow me to set time off for these certain activities. Students have a very positive outlook on how people describe them. Almost every single student wrote that they were described as nice, and many others chose to self-describe as quiet, smart, funny, creative, fat, skinny, logical, things like that. It's sad that so many students felt out of shape or chubby. I really hope it doesn't affect their self-esteem and outlook on life. Introducing a physical education app for physical education class could help greatly. Many students listed video games as one of their top likes, so if I introduce the app like Superhero Workout or Nexercise to allow students to take part in physical education while incorporating technology and video games into it, it could have amazing results. Students also love spending time with friends. I don't like to use negative reinforcement, but if my hand is forced, then I can take away their recess or lunchtime with friends. It's good that students also like video games, social media, music, and sleep, don't we all? These are things that I like too. Whenever I tell the students that I play video games, they're always blown away. These things help me connect with the kids and allow me to respect them, and they respect me and like my character more. Gamifying the classroom could also help the students become invested in class. How many books do students read per year? And this surprised me actually. Kids love reading, and it got me thinking, if I'm teaching science, maybe I can assign them science books like The Martian for them to read. I could easily tie it into chemistry, physics, and even biology. I could assign it as part of the main curriculum or assign it as an extra credit activity. To make it technology-based, I could also find a way to get a classroom subscription to Audible, which would allow them to listen to the book as an audiobook. There are many chemistry games available on the App Store that are based off of real chemistry. And if I'm teaching physics, there are also games based on building rockets. Everyone has a smartphone, so having a competition of who can fly a rocket the highest in the app could greatly help the students stay focused and invested while having fun and learning. The best and worst parts about school. This was a lot to read and go through, but gave me huge insight to the teaching and school system. An overwhelming amount of people said being with friends was their favorite thing, along with being creative and finding new ways to learn and experience things. This shows students want to learn. Students in high school want to learn. They have an interest in being in school. The worst parts were bad teachers and exams. They said they hate the pressure. The world is against them when they have a bad teacher and a standardized test. The last things they said was having no one care about your learning and progress, which was really sad. How no teacher has ever said good work or you guys worked so hard after a great performance on a test by the kids. Doing this builds the growth mindset in students so they can carry that on to university. High school is really where a lot of students hit their stride. How do the students work best? This question allows me to tailor assignments to what the students prefer. Maybe take-home tests are good because they don't like the pressure of exams and want to work alone. Maybe a group project would work well for them because they like groups. It really allows me to make the ideal learning environment for the students. The numbers were more distributed than I would have thought. Most people like working alone, less like partners, and very few like groups. Almost no students answered this option. So, take-home tests it is then. But students like to be in charge of their own learning and success, so I think this is why it was voted like this. The best way to find out how to do an assignment. These kids are lucky they have the internet because an overwhelming amount of them used Google to find it, and only 2 used the teacher, which is concerning that most students would rather trust an online source rather than their own teacher. A few said they would ask a friend, which is awesome to see collaboration between students. If they help and learn from each other, it builds a classroom of trust, which is one of the cornerstone factors of having a student-centered classroom. Lastly, the best way to do an assignment. So here, most students said that it didn't matter how it was done. Both ways were okay. This shows that students care more about other things like the format of the test, the teacher, things like that, instead of the medium it was done on. In conclusion, technology is a tool used to enhance the classroom and not replace it entirely. It helps teachers communicate better with students, parents, and admin. It allows for better use of class time. It helps keep the students engaged and takes some of the workload off of the teacher. But it cannot replace certain aspects of teaching that are crucial, such as face-to-face communication, the teacher's personality, and inspiring students. Gamifying the classroom and allowing for a more diverse range of activities with technology could also help greatly with learning. Students using technology to communicate is crucial, so a Wi-Fi that is limited could help the students stay engaged and retain knowledge better. Using Remind and Google Calendars to ensure the students' holidays are respected allows for a more welcoming and respectful classroom. Introducing applications for extra credit or to help keep track of students' progress allows for better organization, more invested students, and more inspiration for the students to do well. Thank you for listening to my presentation.